This episode of The Average Guys was recorded live on Facebook and Twitch and is brought to you by Dustin Kelty, Joshua Phillips, Alex Tiedman, and Chris Clock from patreon.com/averageguys.
Welcome, everybody, to the Average Guys Pro Wrestling Podcast, starring your wonderful hosts, Zach, Chris, Josie, and unfortunately not here quite yet, Josh. We actually don't know where he is. He's probably still trying to figure out how to escape the Drifter. I know he was kidnapped by the Drifter last week, so who knows what's going on with that. As you can see, we're streaming live on both Twitch and Facebook Live, as this is quote-unquote our season finale, as we like to call it. We're going to start off with Season 2 next week with a surprise interview. Chris, do you want to announce who that is? Because I know you're the most excited for this.
Actually, no. I want to keep this one kind of a secret.
All right, that's fair.
I mean, if you guys don't follow the Facebook page, you have no idea who it is. But if you do follow the Facebook page, facebook.com/averageguys, pro, right? Yes. Oh my god, I messed up my first time. You'll see.
Don't worry,
who
everyone
I'm talking
messes
about.
up their first time.
I don't want to set anything in stone. But I have talked to this person, and they have shown interest, and we have sent them questions, and they have told me that they would love to answer every one of them. So I'm actually pretty excited.
That's even an update for me. I didn't hear that we got to answer back about the questions, so...
Oh, it just happened today, actually. I was out grocery shopping with my mom, and I got the message from him, and I kind of squeed a little bit in the middle of the cat food aisle. Squee, quote unquote. I don't ever use that word. Why am I using that word?
I think if you squeed in a cat food aisle, you might end up on a list, or at least somebody's watching you.
Well, I certainly hope it's not the gentleman that I'm talking to for the interview.
That's totally fair. So on the docket for tonight, we're going to go ahead and talk about Raw and SmackDown, what we liked, what we didn't like, all that jazz, quick review of that. And of course, we have Battleground this weekend on Sunday. So we're going to talk about the pay-per-view, see what we think see what we think is going to go on for that. So starting off with Raw this week, it was all right. Had a big announcement that I was just not a fan of.
I mean,
I'm still bitter about it.
It's all right.
You know
statement?
what? It's not the announcement that I thought it was going to be, so that makes it even better.
What did you think the announcement was gonna be?
I have to
Dixie
hear this.
Carter.
I guess that's fair. I don't want Dixie Carter ever on my WWE. Having an interview in a whatever is fine, but not just the entire thing.
No, actually putting her in a storyline and giving her, camera work. No. Carter, you stay away.
I mean, what I don't know, like, how she is even behind the camera managing the company. I know that Jeff Jarrett has shown that he's not exactly a fun gentleman behind the camera. Tell me some horror stories about Dixie Carter.
Who, me?
It's somebody who knows. Anybody, chat. Hey, you guys are there.
From what I've heard, remember Vicky Guerrero?
I remember Vicky Guerrero, not fondly.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, do you remember bitchy Vicky Guerrero?
Actually, I really liked that angle. That was fun.
Supposedly, that is like Dixie Carter, like 24/7.
So
Right.
You're just totally making fun of Dixie Carter. Like, hey, Dixie, this is you all the time.
Yeah.
the E's done worse,
Yeah, so... I say that it was pretty meh, but there was some pretty good stuff that went on. The Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins kind of kicked it off. And, Seth comes out, says, hey, when they go fight The Miz and The Miztourage, will Dean be on Seth's side or be in his way? Dean refuses, saying that they hadn't been brothers since he was in the Shield, and that Seth Rollins in the ring isn't the same one from the Shield. Seth apologizes, says, "Go ahead, hit me in the back with a chair, just like happened 3 years ago." Dean holds the chair, very skeptical about it, and then throws it out of the ring. Miz Taraj come out, beat the shit out of everybody.
Yay!
Seth says, or Miz tells Seth that Dean will never forgive him. Tells Dean that he's fallen short each time because he sucks, pretty much. He says a lack of planning is going to cost him, as he and Bo, Bo, and Curtis grab chairs and start beating down Rollins. Then the Miz takes out Dean. Miz sets up a chair and delivers a skull-crushing finale to Seth on the chair, and then the segment kind of ends. So it's really good. We all want the Shield back. Everyone knows that. They tease it a lot.
Whoa. Speak for Zach when you speak for stuff like that. Come on now.
No.
That's
for me. I want a Shield reunion too.
Okay, when I say we all, I mean most of the IWC wants it back. The Shield was a fantastic gimmick, and I don't know why you don't like it.
Because it has Roman Reigns.
I mean,
Roman was good in the Shield, though. That's
he
the
was.
thing.
He really was.
I enjoyed Roman Reigns when he was in the Shield. It's when he left the Shield and just got his huge push for seemingly no reason that I started to hate on it.
I mean, when the Shield came around, that was the time that I kind of stopped watching wrestling. There was a point where I stopped watching wrestling for a short time. It was between WrestleMania 28, because I watched that, and it was I think the other side was what was it? It was the Royal Rumble. Stephen Cooper agrees with me. He's enjoying their singles pushes. I mean, he agrees with me.
Pirate Steve.
He agrees.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing. I enjoy their singles pushes aside from Roman, who is seemingly like losing his major push. So he's starting to go back into the, all right, I'm fine with it. But like, I just really like stables. And like, that was one of our last good stables. I mean, the Miz Taraj is still super new, so who knows what we're going to have from that. But
I don't know, Titus Worldwide, I guess, but not really a stable.
I mean,
I
I'm kind of sad that Josh isn't here to dick ride the Miz.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's probably where he is, dick riding the Miz.
I suppose I'll do it for him. Miz Taraj has so much potential to be something great because of the Miz. That was my best Josh impression.
I mean,
okay.
I feel like that's mostly your opinion too.
I mean, I love the Miz.
That's true.
But
I think we all do here, except for maybe Josie.
I don't think the Miz Taraj has potential for that reason, though. I don't actually think the Miz Taraj has potential at all. I'm not a fan of taking two guys that are actually pretty good and just turning them into cannon fodder, for lack of better terminology.
It's cronies.
Yeah,
basically J&J security for him.
But like,
yeah, pretty much.
I think Slater. No, not Slater. Who am I thinking?
Axel, Bo Dallas.
Yeah, I think Dallas. Honestly, like I talk a lot of crap about him, but I think that he could actually have something good. I think they should have teamed him up with Wyatt. I mean, I understand keeping the two separate. I understand keeping like that whole thing going. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll see where their storyline goes from here. It's definitely got a lot of potential. It's probably leading to a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. I'd be surprised if it didn't.
I can see Ambrose and Rollins like finally becoming friends again, and then for Ambrose to turn on Rollins when he does his heel turn.
I do want Ambrose to have a heel turn. I think Ambrose should have a heel turn pretty soon.
I agree with you.
His character as a face is very stale, in my opinion.
I think he would do better as the snarky heel.
I mean, his comedy is still like top notch, but like the whole design of his character just screams heel to me. Not this face who's just goofing around.
Yeah. I've always seen him as that like weird drunk uncle that comes around during Thanksgiving.
I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
he's definitely not old enough to be my uncle, so that's not how I see him. Anyway, we should probably move this on because we talked a little too much about Ambrose and Miz.
Yeah, I mean, not too much else happened aside from the big thing, which I'm going to save for last. Enzo and Cass kind of continued their thing. Cass beat the Big Show.
What?
Beat up Cat, yeah.
Yeah.
Cass beat up Big Show and Enzo.
Yeah, and then Enzo beat him up. So the Revival also beat the Hardys again.
Bailey beat Bliss.
Yeah, which was a little weird. Which again is going to lead to a triple threat match because now Bailey and Bliss are arguing with each other over who should have it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
One
Like
thing that was
children,
pretty
too,
crazy
which is weird.
was Finn Balor had a match against the Drifter Elias Sampson, and Elias Sampson smashed him over the head with a guitar, and Finn Balor got pretty cut up. I don't
He
know if you
did.
saw that.
I don't think that guitar was like an actual prop. Like, I don't think they got it ready in time to be smashed.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
so we
If you
we
look
have
at the replay, you can see where it hit his head, and it's like it didn't break apart like the rest of the rest of the guitar. It was like a big chunk missing out of it.
Jeff Jarrett hit who in the head with a guitar? Juan Murrow. I'm assuming that's how I pronounce your name. Welcome to the show. Like I said, it's live, and if you're listening to this recorded, I don't envy. I don't care because you could be here too, listening to this live on our Facebook page.
So Jeff Jarrett didn't hit anybody with a guitar. It was
That was,
Elias Sampson. Jeff Jarrett probably did hit somebody in the head with a guitar this week, but it wasn't related to wrestling.
Yeah, it was probably just Jeff being in a drunken stupor, hitting people.
But yeah, if you get a chance, definitely look at the cut on Finn Balor's head because this is probably the most amount of blood I've seen on a Raw in a long time, and all of it was purely accidental. Like I think the Big Show hit something wrong, and his nose got cut up
that was
a little bit.
that
So
was a
the
little
Big Show
blood.
had some blood on his nose. Finn Balor had a guitar smashed on his head, and it cut his head open.
Yep.
I don't think he got stitches, but let's double check.
Well, I mean, if you
I'll go through his Instagram or whatever real quick and see.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and get talking about the big news from Raw. Kurt Angle's big secret was finally revealed. It is of course, a illegitimate child angle, which is the least thing that I wanted to happen. And his child is not Chad Gable, but Jason Jordan, who is now the newest member of Raw.
I'm okay with that.
so
I'm
stupid.
completely okay with that because you know what? It's not Dixie Carter, and that's all I'm happy about. I'm happy with that.
On wrestling memes, I saw a bunch of photos that were the My Black Sun video.
Oh Lord!
And then
My
there's
black son. My black son. Also, he's a ninja.
it's just like,
Yeah, I saw that too.
and then you see the
here's
the-
that picture of the cut.
and then you see the one that's Jason Jordan's quote unquote now, I guess, according to kayfabe, adopted parents.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh Lord!
Yeah, it's just like, oh god.
You know what? I'm okay with it because if they start doing these kind of like long storylines that
Jesus.
kind of go somewhere like they used to back in the day, I'm okay with that. Bring them back for a little bit. That's fine.
I will say one of my other favorite memes that I saw related to this was it's a picture of Homer Simpson from an episode of The Simpsons where he was trying to get Carl, but he wanted Lenny. So they photoshopped Kurt Angle's head onto Homer, where in the line he's saying, "Aw, I wanted the white one, not the black one."
Oh my god. I'll be there, Stephen Cooper, Primo show Sunday night. I'll be there to help you guys set up too, actually.
Another thing that was definitely funny about this was Nick and Matt Jackson asked AJ Styles if they were his dad. or no, if he was their dad, and he says, yes, at the ripe old age of 8, I had my dear son, Matt, and then 4 years later, I had my favorite son, Nick.
Wow.
Oh, Young Bucks.
Yep.
It's just funny because in company they're never going to acknowledge each other, but like on Twitter they have a little more free reign. That's why we tend to see Kurt Angle be a little more broken, or not Kurt Angle, Matt be a little more broken. But like AJ can communicate with people outside of WWE and not really get faulted for it.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so how many times have we had an illegitimate son angle?
Let's see. I mean, Hornswoggle is the most blatant case, but I think there might have been one or two more.
Well, I mean, the Hornswoggle one fell kind of flat. I mean, they might have potential with this one in the future.
I mean, the other problem with the Hornswoggle one though was it was originally supposed to be Ken Kennedy, also known as Ken Anderson. But he got hurt, I think, and that's why they took the angle away. He either got hurt or he got knocked for a wellness violation, so they had to like last minute change it, and decided to just rib on Kurt Angle or on Vince a little bit with Hornswoggle.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy a good rib? Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon does not enjoy a good rib.
Oh man, I saw one of the best ribs recently. It was in the table for 3. So do you remember? I know Josie watched during this time, and Chris didn't. But I mean, Chris might remember. Do you remember that old angle with the Nation of Domination where it's like teasing between The Rock taking over, and so The Rock gets everybody except for Farouk a solid gold Rolex, and he gives Farouk a signed photograph of him. So
yeah, I remember that.
So in the table for 3, it's D'Lo Brown, or not D'Lo Brown, the Godfather, Mark Henry, and Ron Simmons, and
That's
they bring
really
a bunch of
awesome.
photos. They bring presents. They have 2 watches. Mark Henry and the Godfather get watches again, and then again Farouk gets a signed photo of The Rock.
Oh my god, that's great.
Also, I just heard Josh's voice. Josh, he managed to escape from the Drifter.
Nope, he's gone now.
Yeah, he just left. Now he's back. Josh, I heard you escaped from the Drifter.
I did escape from the Drifter. I hear we're talking about
guys.
table for 3 right now.
I mean, I was just talking about a rib, because we're talking about how I'm pretty sure the rib on Vince McMahon was the Hornswoggle thing. We're talking about the Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle's son.
Oh God.
Yep, we're talking
I
about.
do hear that we have learned the true father of Chad Gable as well.
Marty Jannetty.
Yeah, it's Daniel Bryan.
What?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Well, according to Twitter, it's true, and
He's not as proud of his son, though. He's not had his son on TV, meaning Daniel Bryan is a worse father than Kurt Angle. He does not love his son much.
Oh God.
A lot of other
I'll
like
see if I can find that tweet real quick.
a lot of other podcasters and video people, YouTube channels. That's what I'm looking for. They're scared that Gable is going to get lost because of the storyline. Like they're scared that he's going to just fall between the cracks because they're like the E's not doing anything with him right now.
Those people also did not see his brilliant match with AJ Styles a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Right.
So the thing that that Josh was referring to, I'm just going to go through all your names. So after the announcement was made, Chad Gable tweeted out, what? So Daniel then replies to that saying, "Don't worry, son. You'll find out who your real father is next week on SmackDown Live." Oh, wait. Did I give it away by calling you son?
Oh my god! Like I heard that
It's pretty beautiful.
I heard that they were going with, Jason Jordan and the whole illegitimate son thing. Like that makes sense because we had a bunch of crackpot theories over it too. Like we had,
As it could have been so much worse.
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm really super disappointed in that segment, even though I went in with no expectations. They somehow found a way to not achieve that. But it could have been Dixie Carter.
I mean, it could have been Dixie Carter. It could have been Stephanie McMahon.
Okay. The worst thing it could have been is Dixie Carter. Like,
Definitely.
but in Dixie's defense, she's at least a little bit more creative than Jeff Jarrett. So,
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys see what the Hurricane had to say about him this week?
I did not. I mean, the best part about this entire thing has been the reaction. So please share it with me again.
Oh man! So the Hurricane basically said that Jeff Jarrett doesn't have a creative bone in his body, and the first creative decision that he made in TNA was to change their slogan to "Make TNA Great Again," which is just a direct ripoff of a political campaign. This is the exact words of the Hurricane. He goes, and nobody in the room had the guts to tell him how stupid it was but me. And he goes, no, it's original. We'll change it to "Make TNA Great."
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Just kill me.
Yeah, no. And I'm glad the Hurricane's getting that out on his idiot of an old boss.
Yeah. So one other thing that happened on Raw that was all right, I guess, was the main event was Roman versus Samoa Joe. Went to whatever.
And
Braun Strowman comes out, starts beating on both of them, and somehow, in the midst of having super over Roman and Braun monster among men Strowman, Samoa Joe still looked like the biggest badass in that ring at the time.
Was it because he jumped on
Joe
Strowman's back and put him in the Coquina clutch?
Yeah, I mean he held his own.
He did,
Well,
but it also
Yeah,
made
I'm gonna
Strowman
beat
look
your ass.
super.
Sorry.
It made Roman look super strong because first he took out Roman, then he took out Joe, and then he took out the combined efforts of Roman and Joe. So,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty
Well, I
sure
mean,
next
you have
week
to
we're
book
going to hear
Roman
the
strong,
announcement.
Maggle.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure next week we're going to hear the announcement that the SummerSlam is going to be a 4-way, for the title between.
Hey,
Lesnar,
nice
Strowman,
convenient
Joe.
way to get that belt off Lesnar.
I mean,
Without
it's not going to
Lesnar
happen.
look like a bitch. I think it will. I think they're uncomfortable with having it on him. You could still do Roman versus Brock too at any place, maybe even Survivor Series, but you gotta get that belt off him. And Joe looked the strongest there and looked like the biggest badass. It's because Joe legitimately is the biggest badass of that group.
Fact.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to SmackDown. SmackDown tonight was definitely a go-home show. We do have Battleground this weekend, so...
Yep.
Did you guys enjoy the explanation of the super easy to understand rules of the Punjabi prison match?
Oh my god. Did they have a
I tend to tune out when either Jinder Mahal or Randy Orton start talking, so...
Okay, so did they have a prison there?
Oh,
They
yeah,
did.
no. So it started, from what I heard, with Jinder Mahal cutting a promo in the prison with Randy Orton. And it wasn't a horrible promo from the stuff I've seen posted on Reddit since, where they had the clips. It was pretty solid, but in that time frame, they decided to, once again, go over the rules of the Punjabi prison match, because it's been, 10 years since we've seen that thing?
Yep.
I
Sure.
think so.
Almost on the button right there.
Yeah, and good God, I know we went over these rules 2 weeks ago when they first announced the Punjabi prison, but did you guys realize how complicated this stupid match was?
Dude, I went over it with you in... Oh, no, that wasn't with you. I went over it with Josie and Zach. Never mind.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the way to Josie's place for Great Balls.
Yeah, Josh, would you like to explain us the rules of this great once-in-a-lifetime match?
This incredible moment that we're going to see this Sunday.
First, let me grab another beer real quick. Because, guys, it takes a bit. And then I'm going to not look it up on my phone, and let's see how close I am to the actual rules of this match.
I mean, you'll have to just slam the beer first. Like,
Yeah, so here's the thing. I have the rules in front of me, so I'll definitely give you whether or not you have the rules right or not.
so before we do that with Josh, let's continue the SmackDown review.
So other than that, we had kind of teasing of the 5-way stuff.
Man, I would love to be in that 5-way. Did that come out of my mouth?
Isn't that 5-way?
Charlotte, Naomi, Tamina, or no, not Naomi. Charlotte, Becky, Alana, Tamina, and Natalia.
Lana's in it too? Like, okay, so what do we have planned for Naomi at Battleground?
Dibs.
Nothing.
Dibs on Stifler's mom.
I mean, there
Thank
is
you.
there is 4 of us.
You just love Natalia, so
I mean, I
Come
love
on,
Natalia
guys.
too. Like,
No, definitely Charlotte.
Why do you think I called dibs on Natalia, Chris?
ooh,
all right, fine. Dibs on Becky.
you and I are gonna fight.
Oh.
Oh man, this is awful.
yeah.
We probably shouldn't be talking about that.
So we had a pretty much tease of that. Becky and Charlotte had a match. Becky won by submission. Then what else happened? John Cena cut a promo talking about how great America is. Rusev came out, put him in the accolade, and started waving the flag. Whatever.
Yeah.
I could not be less into this feud. I love Rusev. The fact that they made it a flagpole
Guys-
match is just I don't understand. What?
Okay,
What the fuck is the rules to this match?
So-
you have to wave a flag?
It's capture the flag. Whoever gets the other person's flag wins.
Okay, that's still awful, and I
no,
hate
it's their
it.
it's their own flag. They have to get their own flag. I think that the
Oh.
I think the original pitch for this match, because Vince McMahon is a psychopath. I
Real
think the
American.
Yeah, I think the original pitch for this match was it's you climb up on the pole, you capture their flag, and you throw it into like one of those flaming trash cans.
Guys,
Yeah,
who
that'll go over
are
well.
No,
as
I know.
a group, are we team Cena or are we team Rusev? Because I know from a wrestler standpoint, we're all way bigger fans of Rusev.
I refuse to answer that question on the basis that
Is it because you don't want to be deemed an America hater?
Yeah, if I ever want to run for political office later on, I can't root for the Bulgarian brute.
I mean, I
But
plan to
deep
be
down, you all
president.
know that I am.
I plan to be president when I'm 35. I can't answer that question.
Fine. I will be the only one to answer this.
Jose, are you also team Cena? Like I'm
Yes.
pro Cena here,
I am
but at the
Cena, and
same
this
time, I
go
want
USA.
Cena to win it.
I know he's not.
I want Cena to win it, and I want Rusev to machka his candy ass after the match.
Okay, so
The only thing is,
And just machka that so hard.
unfortunately, we all know that Cena's not going to win just because the whole he's taking a loss at SummerSlam for every guy that he beat during that infamous Terminator match that he had.
Well, this is
Frankly,
Battleground, not
Cena doesn't
SummerSlam,
need
so
the match either.
Ah,
Cena
that's
doesn't
right.
need the win.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know why I was thinking so far ahead in SummerSlam when we're still doing Battleground.
well, no, I
I
think
apologize.
I would.
I mean, it's
I
a
would like to
pay-per-view
see Cena
after.
win it for Rusev just to crush him. I mean, either way, regardless if Rusev loses, you have to make him look strong.
Well, I mean, so I think this show Rusev is going over. We'll probably go deeper into that when we talk about Battleground. But I think Rusev will
Yeah.
be going over in the flag match because John Cena is going to have to lose at SummerSlam. Like he's got to put one more guy over
yeah,
at
definitely.
SummerSlam. So I think Rusev's
I mean,
time
he
to
doesn't
shine.
have to, but he probably will.
He
That's-
promised that he would.
I mean, he's on the way out the door. He's a part timer now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about the only other super important thing that happened. Well, I guess there's two other things. So we had Fashion X-Files,
Yay!
ooh,
which set up a match between Breezango and someone else at Battlegrounds.
Aliens, I believe.
No, that was the delivery driver.
I bet you it's Heavy Machinery.
Yes.
It could be.
Heavy Machinery fell short trying to get the NXT tag titles last week, and like those guys are over. Like everybody loves them.
Surprise
I
entrance
think they
of
would rather
the Young
see
Bucks.
AOP up.
Yeah, but
No, you have
AOP
to,
are
you
still
have to get the titles off AOP.
yeah.
And Heavy Machinery is your way to do it. You're booking them as an underdog. But more of that on the NXT and Indies exclusive show. We're recording at some point in time
Maybe sometime
when
next year.
I decide to be a professional.
So never then.
Yeah. So
Hey, when do you guys want to record tomorrow? I did
Maybe.
finger guns there, by the way.
I plan on making like a nice shrimp, like Cajun bake tomorrow. So maybe if I'm not
Dude,
too
I was
full
gonna make
from
shrimp
that,
tomorrow too.
why don't you just come over and I'll make shit. We'll just make a
Because
giant crab and
potentially was
shrimp.
gonna go out to karaoke with Joe and make things terrible for Denver.
Oh lord.
I mean, we could do that after we eat. Why not? So yeah,
Back
we
to
have
SmackDown.
yeah.
Karaoke's top heel.
So AJ Styles talked to Nakamura backstage. Nakamura comes back, points at the title, and says, "When that calls, I answer." So
I
Did
really
you-
hope they're setting up Nakamura and Styles for WrestleMania.
Did you have to say that with
it's
the
probably
accent?
December. Yes.
Okay.
Really, they're setting up Nakamura, Kevin Owens for after Kevin Owens is done keeping the United States title away from AJ Styles.
I mean, AJ has it right now, so
AJ
Yeah.
doesn't need it.
AJ
No, he
still
doesn't, but he'll keep it for a little while.
AJ still
I'm
needs
sure.
his AJ still needs his one-on-one rematch for the WWE
Mhm.
Championship.
He does.
I could squash Jinder Mahal. It'd be beautiful.
I don't see it happening.
Oh, guys, I just saw segment 3. Holy shit, am I excited for this.
Segment 3.
Segment 3 of.
The podcast.
Oh. Yeah, definitely.
Listeners, will you guys please stay tuned? It's something
God!
actually beautiful.
Hang on. I have to go yell at the cat because he's being a total bitch right now.
No.
I will be back. I'm sorry.
Josh, you don't understand. That's not happening.
It is, right?
Yes, it totally is.
Come on, Chris.
No.
Given.
It's been pretty good so far, and for real, you should check out that promo tonight that he cut. It was really solid. It was I was not bored with Randy Orton again. Even though, let's be real, I'm probably the biggest hater of Randy Orton on this cast.
I mean, you are the biggest
Yeah.
hater.
I am a bit of a hater.
You know what? I think we should move item number 3 to item number 2, so we
Nope.
can just keep
Yes.
talking about it.
That's just not happening.
And Chris, if you want to say I'm the biggest heel in Denver karaoke, you're correct.
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm that heel that gets a bit of the reaction that Mr. Mizanin got at WrestleMania 32 this year, or 33 this year.
You forgot which WrestleMania we're on.
Oh, God. I black out WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Wait, you mean this wasn't WrestleMania 32?
Yeah.
It could have been.
They never stopped in Dallas, did they?
They had a takeover there. It was pretty good, though.
That's all like a nightmare fever dream that just went really south, right?
Very.
Right. So let's go ahead and do this. Josie, or not
Yeah.
Josie, sorry, Josh. You know, I surprisingly am not drunk. That's probably why I'm mixing up everyone's names.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Let me grab one more beer.
Yeah.
No,
You have to explain it one time right now.
No, I'm gonna go 2.5 through it. I can kill half a beer in a pretty reasonable
This is
amount
the
of time.
only thing we have left for
Ooh.
SmackDown. You have to explain to me the rules of this.
Now we have an echo.
Yeah, who's the Echo?
It's Josh.
Josh,
It's me because I unplugged my headphones.
Damn you, Josh.
You
Josh,
bitch.
we are almost done with SmackDown. All we have left is for you to explain to me the rules of the Punjabi prison match, and he just got out. I think he willingly left that time so that we wouldn't have the echo, but
No, it's the people of Pittsburgh.
it could be.
God damn them.
It could be the people of India. They don't want him tarnishing the name of their sacred match.
Whoa. He's gonna like talk that match up. He's not gonna like talk any bad about it.
Yep.
He's gonna be really excited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have the rules of a Punjabi prison match in front of me, so I really want him to just give me
Yeah.
his stipulation on how this works.
Am I back?
Yes, you are.
All right, guys, I'm going to chug half this beer during plugs time. When I come back, you're regularly scheduled drunken trying to remember the rules to the worst fucking match of all time.
All right, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
All right.
Oh.
So I'll go ahead and do the plug time this time.
Plugs.
If you enjoy what you like to hear, if you're enjoying what you like here, you can check out more of us. We are now moving into other media streams to get our podcast out to you. We now have a
I believe
Podbean
they're
account.
called-
All you have to do is search for Average Guys Pro Wrestling. We will soon be on iTunes and Google Play as soon as iTunes stops being dumb and lets me actually submit. More on that later. And you can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Average Guys Pro, where you can check out the live recording every Tuesday night, sometime around 9, where we go Facebook Live. And then once we're done with that, you can also probably, unless Chris decides not to post the video, you can just listen to the video that will have the podcast on the page at your convenience. We also do have a Patreon page. We are getting rid of most of our patron reward tiers. We will have just a few left. We have a $1 tier, which gets you... What does that get you now, Chris?
So the $1 tier is now a sponsorship tier. So when I edit this and I post it, what'll happen?
We're still going to have the
is-
video version, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. When I edit this,
Because of this.
and I post this, what's gonna happen is there will be a little bit of audio before it talking about our newest Patreon sponsors, and then at the end of the video there will be credits where if you've been a patron at any time, your name is permanently on those credits.
Yep.
stuff.
And then there shall be other tiers, including the $200,000 tier, where if you submit $200,000 to us, Chris will make not only a personalized video to you, but in said video, he will sing the praises of Jinder Mahal and explain to you in graphic detail as to why Jinder Mahal is the greatest WWE champion of all time.
Now I wish I had $200,000.
Zach?
You don't need $200,000. We hear it all the time when we're not recording.
Oh,
This is true.
God. That's not true.
All right, you guys ready for the real show?
All
All right.
All right.
Explain to me how a Punjabi prison match works. Because I have the
Hold
rules
on.
in front of me.
All right. Visual here. I'm holding the microphone like Xavier Woods because that is how professionals hold their microphone.
I mean, that's how I hold mine.
I will take a selfie here showing that I do not have the rules in front of me. Because, I'm going to kill it here.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I'm sure in the video, Chris replaced my picture there for this segment there with this. The rules of the Punjabi prison match are as follows. There are two bamboo cages. The larger cage, or there's a cage that I believe goes around the ring, surrounded by a cage that's at a diagonal with it, that surrounds the outer corners of the ring. I have no clue, by the way, how this looks with it. I'm sure there probably are people they have to move that are hit by the corners of the cage. with this. Now, and like, here's where I screwed up. I will screw up the amount of time during the complicated rules here, but you must escape the inner cage followed by the outer bamboo cage to win the WWE World Championship. So the inner cage, if I recall, has a set of bamboo doors that
How many?
somebody 4,
Correct.
one for each side, that a
And how
referee
large are they?
license big enough for the Big Show to crawl through. That man was in one of these matches, controlled by not just a referee, but a licensed WWE official
Oh my god.
who has, I believe, and this is me just guessing the number,
Josh?
3 minutes to hold a door open. After the 3-minute time frame per door, the door is locked and will no longer be opened. You can no longer escape through that side without climbing the inner cage. After all 4 doors are locked, each competitor must make their way out of the inner cage and then out of the outer cage to receive the World Heavyweight Championship.
Whoa.
How close was I, Chris? Or not Chris, Zach.
All right. So here are the official rules of it.
Oh boy.
It consists of 2 large steel reinforced bamboo cages. The first is a 4-sided cage and stands at 16 feet tall, while the second has 8 sides and stands at 20 feet and surrounds the first. The inner cage has a 4-foot by 4-foot door on each side, with a referee standing by to open them at the wrestler's request. Each door may
licensed official, right?
Yes. Each door may only be open once and it is only allowed to remain open for 60 seconds, after which it is padlocked. Should all 4 doors end up locked before the wrestlers escape, they are forced to climb out over the top where the bamboo is fashioned into spikes. Between the 2 cages, sometimes there are weapons placed on 2 tables, both medieval and bamboo variations of the standard wrestling weapons. There are also extended straps at the corners of the cage, which can be used to choke the opponent. Once a wrestler has escaped the first cage, he must climb over and out of the second cage, with the first wrestler having both feet on the arena floor, winning the match.
Also, it's not for the world. It's also not for the World Heavyweight Championship. Idiot.
It sounds like I was way closer than I should have been for not having those rules in front of me. I personally impressed by my efforts. You all should be as well.
Nope.
I'm sending you both the selfies of how this occurred.
Oh Lord. Oh God, he actually did send them.
I did.
Afraid. Is there nudity in these photos?
There's 4 PBR.
Well, I mean,
that's because I started the 4th one during explaining the rules.
And wow, that is definitely a picture of Josh holding his mic.
that is a picture of Josh
Of,
holding
like,
his
Xavier
mic with
Woods.
PBRs.
That's how you're supposed to hold your mic.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So let's go ahead and start talking about Battleground, unless we want to move docket number 3 item to docket number 2.
I would love that.
Nope.
Yes,
All right.
please.
I mean, Chris, let's be honest with the people.
I didn't agree to this. There's just nothing here for you. I'm sorry.
In a slight deviation of the immortal words of D'Angelo, how do you feel?
Nope. I'm not doing this. We're not having this
How
conversation.
do you feel?
I mean, I'm
All
definitely not happy with the state of SmackDown at the moment.
Maybe once the pay-per-view is over, we can get him to do it next week.
Nope.
We can get him to do it in front of our guests. If Chris loses the trivia challenge,
Oh god.
and Chris loses his Average Guys trivia title to our guest next week, he has to admit that. That is his punishment.
It's just not a thing that's
So
gonna.
I mean,
we'll
guys,
incentive
he is-
for you, Chris.
He is the T-shirt champ.
That's a pretty mean way to talk about the first ever Average Guys Pro Wrestling Podcast undisputed champion.
He does have 2 titles right now.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Undisputed. You know how good that feels to say?
To be fair, as your average guy's pro wrestling general manager, I did institute that second title, and you pretty much won it. So I didn't get a chance to get that title.
Oh, boo-hoo.
A t-shirt champ.
Yep. It's a meaningless title that we gave to him to make him feel better.
Oh,
No, we
ouch.
gave it to him to sell t-shirts in India. Let's be real.
Oh,
We gave both of them to him.
Oh,
A
God.
lot of t-shirts to sell.
all the t-shirts.
India is the only place to do this.
Maybe
Chris, there are people in the lowest caste wearing shirts that say "I love the Great Hoff," and also copyrighted
Hashtag
magic flavor
experience
text.
greatness.
Oh, my God. So, you guys
And
understand.
copyrighted Magic the Gathering flavor text.
You guys do understand that no amount of t-shirt sales are going to, make the average guys pull, turn a profit this year.
Well, guys, I mean, we made him the t-shirt.
Nope. Josh is dead.
Oh, God damn it, Philadelphia.
No, Philadelphia is fine. It's Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
I'm sorry. I knew it was one of those P
Ah.
cities.
Me and Philly are cool.
Oh, God, he heard that.
It's Schittsburg I got beef with.
All right.
All right, we should
probably
move
go
on.
ahead and get into Battleground.
Yes.
So the first match on the card on the pre-show, Ty Dillinger, again, and Aiden English in a singles match for absolutely whatever the fuck this reason is for. I don't care.
I
Yeah.
believe it's the I'm technically still employed title.
That's right.
Oh,
Well, I mean, Ty Dillon, okay, so...
And you guys know how hard that was for me to say. I've praised Ty Dillinger many a time.
You mean Stan?
Stan! I super kicked Stan!
What about Aiden English? How many of us think that...
I think Aiden English is a great worker. Go watch his... I don't want to call it a feud because it really didn't amount to anything, but his finger quotation marks feud with Big Cass back in NXT. It's pretty solid, and he is the same character he is now. He's the artiste, I believe it was what it's called.
yep.
He's some kind of opera singer that also just really loves singing and Vincent Van Gogh, because his tights usually have some form of Vincent Van Gogh art on them.
Big Cass was a better singer in the feud, but in English, he's partially employed because he's married to Eddie's daughter, but
Yeah. Is he married to his eldest daughter, the one who was actually in, I think, NXT at one point?
Yeah.
correct. He is married to her, and I'm sure he'll have a job as long as he wants a job with them, which is fine. He's a good worker.
I mean, the other problem that Aiden English has is that he's so small that he's not like your traditional
He's not cookie.
champion that fits.
He's not cookie.
He's
cutter.
not. He's also not small enough to be a cruiserweight, which is really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I mean like you said, this match is I'm technically still employed by the company title.
And they both are.
Yeah, and it's probably going to go to Ty Dillinger. He could use the win more than Aiden English. Aiden English is kind of at this point where he's just a background character that loses a lot, which he seems to be completely comfortable with. He hasn't complained about it once.
He's making good money to do this, and this match is I think it's fine. It's two good workers who are going to put on a great match, and hopefully it leads to more 10 chance, because
No,
that
please,
is
no.
a monster that Vince McMahon has no clue whatsoever what he's dealing with. This is on what and yes level, to where
Mm-hmm.
We've seen multiple times in the last 2 years where this has taken over a show. Go look at Survivor Series of last year. Like, anytime a number was said by a referee, it wasn't 1, it
10.
wasn't 7, it was 10 every time. And like
Every time.
and that chant is still that over, regardless. With it's not showing up in main events, but the more you put Ty Dillinger on television, the more that chant's going to show up. And give it 2 years, we're going to be at SummerSlam 2019, and Ty Dillinger is going to be around in like a main event picture, or at a level where I'm sure nobody but the man with 3 H's is comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ty Dillinger one of Triple H's golden boys?
He came out of NXT, and his best friend super kicked him at one point in time. Let us not forget that.
Yeah, and Ty also is definitely one of those characters that's been built through WWE. He's not an indie darling. So
I think he was technically employed by TNA for like 2 years in that bubble between when he was out of WWE developmental and before he returned to NXT.
yeah, and I mean, when you really think about it, there's a lot of people that could be booked as WWE originals that did have at least a like stint in TNA that was very small.
I mean, wasn't Suicide the first cruiserweight champ?
No, Suicide.
Maybe.
I think Suicide was Christopher.
You mean
Daniels.
X Division?
No, I mean that if you look it up, TJ Perkins
Oh.
or TJ Dumbass does the dab. I'm
Yeah,
legitimately
TJP.
blinking his name.
TJP.
TJP was Suicide in TNA, which was a really poorly
I'll look
thought
this up.
out character. Good on you, Jeff Jarrett, and your wonderful creative there.
I mean,
But TJP was the first cruiserweight champion, so there are a lot of guys who came through TNA or through WWE that went to TNA. I mean, their single best star in TNA right now is an ex-WWE guy, and I don't mean their shitbag of a world champ. I mean Ethan Carter III. Like
He was
EC3,
stripped of the title, wasn't he? Didn't they actually strip it from him?
not yet. He got stripped from another promotion.
Oh yeah, he got. We're not going to talk
no.
about that piece of shit on here. I stand by that.
I think from this point on, we should just refer to him as POS.
If you really want to know who we're talking about, and this is the last time I'm going to say his name, it's Alberto El Patron.
You mean
From now
Alberto Del piece of shit?
Yeah,
well,
but we don't really want to get into that.
this.
But
this,
no, EC. Let's get back to EC3. Something a little bit more positive. But like EC3 was at one point in time cut by WWE. I don't even remember what his name at that point in time was, but he is legitimately the most talented human being hired by GFW right now.
Who else works back up? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I really like Lashley, but that's
He's worked out his career. He's good. I mean, EC3 is wonderful.
so EC3 was in NXT
Derek Bateman.
in season 3 as Derek. He was Daniel Bryan's protege.
Yep.
Yep,
So-
and he is incredibly talented. But I mean, let's get back to Battleground. Sorry, guys, I got sidetracked.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So next match on.
Hey, we're expanding. We're talking about TNA. Like,
So there's not much to say about the Breezango match. It's going to be against something. The whole speculation is really the only thing we can talk about. I don't think it's heavy machinery like Chris does. At the same time, I don't know who else it could be.
Reddit is buzzing because for some strange reason they have in their head that it's going to be the Young Bucks.
Really?
I'm gonna look
No.
up the SmackDown roster and pick 2 people who have nothing going on, and that's probably it.
No,
I do not
I
know
love-
why.
I love.
I've
the
seen
Young
it
Bucks,
several
but
times on
no.
Reddit already.
Okay, guys, we need to
No.
all stop talking at the same time.
No Young Bucks. Not in WWE.
The Bucks of Youth are above the WWE. They make way more money being anywhere else but there.
Watch it be Kenny Omega and Marty Scurll.
Oh Lord.
All right, I'm going to pick the two people who have nothing going on, and I'm pretty sure that's who they're facing.
So Aiden English and Ty Dillinger.
Aw, that made me sad.
Oh,
I love Ty Dillinger. He's wonderful.
Let's see.
I mean, you said with nothing going on, so.
WWE roster, SmackDown.
Oh, they're giving all the SmackDown guys a lot of stuff to do. Good on SmackDown.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, I don't know who it could be at this point.
Wow.
Kalisto has nothing going on, and he vaguely looks like an alien.
I'm not too sure. The only thing I hope is I don't want WWE to break up this tag team just yet. I want them to go a little bit longer.
NXT
You
tag.
mean they need to hold those titles at one point in time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
They've earned it. This year's been really good for them.
Let's see here.
So let's go ahead and say that it's Edge and Christian.
Yeah, but Edge
I
can't.
think it is.
Edge can't wrestle.
I know.
I think it's the Revival, guys. The Revival's been getting up in everybody's shit lately.
Yeah, but they're also on Raw, which is why I'm just like, I don't know who it would be.
Well,
yeah.
the NXT tag team division is super the fuck
Is-
light.
Yeah, that's the other problem is like there's just not anyone.
Yeah.
Hold up. I know who it is, guys. It's not Edge and Christian. This is actually, let's go back in a time machine to something really beautiful. So at one point in time, Historia move here, Edge and Christian were banned from battling the Hardy Boys for the titles because they had lost them to them. And they showed up at fully loaded, let's say 1998 as Los Conquistadors.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I just
Hang
thought
on,
of
guys.
somebody that it could be too. It could be one of the greatest tag teams that is technically employed by WWE, and that's Mustache
Los
Mountain.
Conquistadors.
Mustache Mountain.
I'm thinking Sanity.
No, Sanity needs the X or the
X division.
they need the NXT tag titles.
They
At
don't
least
Technically, Sanity's a 4-piece.
Well,
You know
yeah.
what? They'll probably make it something silly like Harper and Rowan.
It could also be TM61.
Harper and Rowan is a possibility. I want it to be Mustache Mountain, British Strong Style, man. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, or Tyler Bate and
Hear me out. What if it's Los Conquistadors, but it's just James Ellsworth and Gilbert in gold suits?
Oh Lord.
oh my god.
I mean, like,
It's like a combination of everything we love.
so fast tracking this year, SmackDown has potential gold on their hands with what's going on with the fashion police, quote unquote.
I mean, how big is that pop gonna be the second those two win those titles?
Well, I'm not even
It's
talking about
gonna
that.
be
I'm
pretty high.
talking about this match. I'm talking about Battleground. Like,
It has a
this-
lot to live up to. I know I was kidnapped last week, but like Great Balls was really, really great. Like better than it should have been.
It was good.
And
Why are we talking
Battleground
about that?
has a lot to live up to, and I'm sure they will. I mean, the match card looks really good so far.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's continue with the match card, talking about that.
Yeah, so up next, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States title.
Yeah.
Probably going to be
believe
match
you-
of the night.
I
Yeah.
believe you mean how we put the United States title back on the face of America, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Kevin to win this match.
Yes.
Because I solely believe that putting the title back on him is great. But at the same time, I do want to see AJ versus Shinsuke for the U.S. title in a program. I want it to be for the main title, but it looks like the closest thing we're going to get to that is the U.S. title, and we might see that at SummerSlam. So if I can see AJ versus Nakamura at SummerSlam, even in just a singles match, it doesn't even need to be for a title. I'll be happy. But Kevin Owens is, of course, a huge favorite of everyone on this podcast, as is AJ Styles. Hell, I have an AJ Styles figure literally right above my computer next to my favorite Magic the Gathering card and my 2 degrees. So,
both of you guys know Zach only wears an AJ Styles shirts to pay-per-views.
It's true.
It's true. That is the only thing that I wear to pay-per-views.
Regardless of the company. I got Kevin Owens, but it's not for the same reason. It's that AJ Styles is above the U.S. title.
Well, okay.
And that's not a diss at the U.S. title. The U.S. title is a very meaningful title, but like AJ is better than that. AJ is world title material, and this is a simple holding ground to get Randy Orton's jollies out right now.
So-
like, let's just get Randy Orton out of the main picture, and then we can put AJ Styles in there.
So before
we need to give him something to do.
But before we keep going with that, like let's think about this for a second. So AJ Styles has won a world title. AJ Styles has won a mid-card championship. The only thing he's got left to do is win a tag team championship, and he's part of a very, very, very small group of people who are all three.
I mean, he's slowly sneaking his way to a Grand Slam title.
No, like that's what they're doing. That's why they bumped him down from the WWE championship. That's what
the ease respect towards AJ Styles, the worker.
I've also heard that one of the big reasons that they put him on there was they were trying to get another big title moment for the upcoming documentary that they're going to do on AJ Styles.
There's a lot of things that you can do. Like,
I mean, it makes house shows great again, putting that title back on him.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it really does.
Hey guys, I'm as creative as Jeff Jarrett right now. Hey,
God damn it, Jeff.
yes.
you're a dick.
So after that, we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin in just a singles match. This seems to be the blow-off match for their feud. It could lead into something more potentially, but I think that this is going to be the last we're going to see of this feud. And honestly, I hope that it is.
Yeah, I'm not really too interested in a Shinsuke or Corbin feud.
I mean, this
It
is
doesn't
just
seem like it should go anywhere.
this is just SmackDown trying to fill time on their pay-per-view card. That's all
Pretty
this
much.
is.
Yeah. I mean, we literally just looked this up. Like they're stretching their roster pretty thin already.
Yep.
So, like, you could have had a couple decent women's matches, but instead you put all 5 of your non-champion women in a 5-way match.
Told you
Yeah.
they do it. And they do it every time.
It's because Maggle, people love the multi-man matches.
That's not true.
No, that is far from the
Well,
truth.
you know what, Chris? You're gonna have to go one-on-one with the Undertaker,
Deal.
or have a tag team match.
Zach,
That's all Teddy Long knows how to make.
Did you really choose to be the Teddy Long to my JBL?
I did.
I'm hugging you through the microphone right now.
That's gross. You're all gross.
It's so precious.
I think that it's safe to have Shinsuke go over here. Shinsuke's the big name that they want to continue to push to the moon. Baron still has the Money in the Bank contract, so they can pull the trigger on putting him up higher anytime they want.
Yep.
I mean, you
within
could
the
lose
next
as much
year.
as you want when you're holding that briefcase.
Yeah, I mean, Edge lost quite a bit when he had it the first time. In fact, the night he cashed in, he lost I think it was an Intercontinental title match to Ric Flair that night.
If I recall, Seth Rollins lost 4 pay-per-view matches in a row
And then cashed in at Mania.
before he
Yeah.
cashed that in at Mania in 2 legitimately
great matches, like the actual match of the year from that year, that triple threat against Brock and John Cena, and the single most beautiful RKO that's ever happened.
Oh,
At Mania.
the one with the curb stomp. That was really beautiful.
I mean, he lost that. He actually lost that match too.
Yeah, no, he had lost 4 pay-per-view matches in a row before he cashed in. That briefcase, as long as you have that, that's the get out of mid-card hell for free card.
It really is. And honestly, I think he's going to cash it in against whoever takes the title away from Jinder Mahal.
I mean, you can't cash it in on Gender because technically Gender's a heel in the US and a babyface in India.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that means that we can cash it in, or that he can cash it in on anyone. I mean, like anyone in that match. Like, say he wants to cash it in on Randy Orton, boom, he can do that because that would it'd get a good pop from us. I mean, I would hate it.
I've got a gut feeling that Jinder Mahal or that Baron Corbin's going to hold that briefcase. I'm going to predict it now. He's going to cash it in the night after the Royal Rumble.
Ooh.
I honestly feel like we're gonna have a brand split before he.
You mean a brand merger?
No,
Well, I
not a
mean-
merger.
Another
Superstar
shakeup?
shakeup.
Technically, there's a redraft after SummerSlam if
Yeah, I think
past
there
way the
is a
draft has worked.
redraft.
It's been.
Oh,
So,
good. Finn can move
I-
over to SmackDown.
Guys, we need to all stop talking at the same time.
No,
Yep.
Professionalism.
Look,
So,
if
yeah,
there's going to be
I-
another... Sorry, go ahead.
just say what you need to say.
All I was going to say is if there's going to be another shakeup, please send Finn over to SmackDown. Please. He's not
Okay.
being used well in Raw. Just move him over to SmackDown.
I don't think he'll be used well anywhere he goes.
What is the trade for Finn Balor?
There is no
the-
trade. Just
Yeah,
send him. just
there's
send
your
him over.
answer.
Yeah,
It's AJ Styles, obviously.
Do not put Styles on Raw. I will hate everything in my life if you do that.
More so, you really want those two on the same brand because can you think of a more printing money type thing than
Oh, no,
AJ
that's-
versus Finn?
Did you guys know
Shinsuke
that?
versus Finn?
Did you guys know that was
Yeah.
my predicted WrestleMania main event?
That is also my predicted WrestleMania
No. I mean, like
top 3 matches.
last year, AJ Styles was walking into Royal Rumble with the WWE Championship. We were probably going to see a Finn. Like it was all but certain that we were going to see a Finn Balor return at or at Royal Rumble as well. So I was thinking that Styles was going to retain against Cena, and then Balor was going to win the Rumble, and Balor was going to choose to jump ship to SmackDown to go after AJ Styles for the championship. Because remember when they were booking Mania, they said they wanted to build a WrestleMania main event that was on par with or better than Okada Omega that year. Or this year.
they completely failed to do that.
Oh, they
but-
did.
Yep.
No, I
And I know Vince can hear us on the jet because the jet does have Wi-Fi.
Thank God.
mean Vince is probably watching
but-
this right now.
Vince, you're legitimately printing money with that feud. Like, think of whatever amount of money you have in your mind. Now add 2 zeros to that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is how much money this match will make. Like, seriously,
This match is money.
book it. Yeah.
If done right, this could be more popular than, like, say, Rock versus Austin or
But
any of those older feuds.
what we
That I
got
can't
this
see.
Vince, you can give Brad Meltzer a boner.
You mean Dave Meltzer?
Dave, why do you say Brad?
I don't
Too
know.
many beers.
Yeah.
but
On that note,
yeah.
no, you'll give Dave Meltzer a fucking boner with this match. Like, this is the match you could book to outdo Okada Omega.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just, but what we got instead was Bray Wyatt as WWE champion, which don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, and
Mhm.
and Randy Orton as the winner of the Royal Rumble.
Which
I
I,
mean,
it's-
called just in the wrong order. I had Wyatt winning the Rumble, and
Yeah,
I had
Yeah,
it
I mean,
backwards, but I
it's-
called that. I called that WrestleMania match.
You did. You really did.
It's just so disappointing how bad it turned out. Anywho,
I mean, it's not like they're stupid enough to do like a match where you just put horror cliches in a dilapidated house and have like dolls hanging everywhere. I mean, nobody's that stupid, right?
Yeah.
oh guys, I bought that house by the way.
Did you burn it down?
Oh, it's gone.
Please say you burned it down.
It was already burned down, wasn't it?
No, I bought the house, I destroyed it, then flipped the property for a profit.
Oh, good.
Did you put cement over the top of it? Because really, like, let's put that awful match as far away from mankind as humanly possible. Like,
Anyway, we should continue with Battleground because we don't have a lot of time left.
Yeah, so next we have Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch versus Natalia versus Tamina versus Lana in a 5-way elimination match to determine the number 1 contender for the SummerSlam match, because apparently we can't have Naomi defend her title at a pay-per-view.
Okay, so what's
we have to have
the next match?
well, I mean,
Let's
my
just go
prediction
with
here,
her.
guys, is that Becky Lynch will lose that match in some kind of butt fuckery like fashion because they really just like screwing over Becky Lynch at this point in time.
Yeah.
My prediction is that it's gonna come down to Charlotte and Becky, and Charlotte's gonna turn on Becky.
That's what I was thinking.
Then it's gonna start with those two, and then Lana's gonna put a roll up on Becky Lynch and pin her.
No, please do not have Lana win and have another.
Oh no, it's a gauntlet match.
Title.
It's a gauntlet style
It's a
match.
fatal 5-way elimination match.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow, it is an elimination match.
I thought it was a gauntlet.
Didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be Becky and Charlotte for the finale. Charlotte's going to win, and then Carmella's going to cash in her Money in the Bank when it's Charlotte versus Naomi.
If you say Charlotte versus Lana one more time, I'm kicking you.
I meant
Charlotte
versus Becky.
versus-
I don't know why I said Lana.
Lana.
Not Becky. It's versus Naomi.
I think you mean Lana versus Tamina, right?
Oh my God. Moving on.
Oh, yeah.
Next we have America versus
Bulgaria.
Stereotype. We all know how we feel about this match. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Right.
USA.
Moving on.
Machka.
Yeah. Then we have the Uggos versus the New Day for a tag team match for the tag titles. I honestly think the Usos are going to win again, and then we're going to have some form of multi-team match at SummerSlam.
Oh, gross.
With the Usos losing it there. I hate it. Everything about
Inevitable.
this entire pay-per-view of SummerSlam is just leading to so many multi-man matches. Look at all of these feuds. Everything is like multi-man except for apparently the Cruiserweight title, which is the only one that probably should be a multi-man match.
Yeah.
I mean, have you guys been watching weekly programming for the last 3 years? They love
No, I know.
multi-man matches, and it's really a tragic thing to see. I also got the Usos winning.
Oh God, he's
No.
dead.
Oh, God. Drifter killed him.
No.
The New Day was upset about that.
No, I agree. The Usos are definitely going to win. And more than likely, they're going to win by the usual count-out shenanigans that they've won the last several times.
Let's
I
be
don't-
honest here, guys. That's not a win.
Yeah, it's not going to be a count out. Again, it's going to be some form of buttfuckery. And then, we're going to have a multi-man match. Hopefully it like you could do a fatal 4-way tag match at SummerSlam, and I would enjoy it if it was the Usos, the New Day, and then whoever Breezango is fighting.
With
Yeah.
Breezango?
Yeah, so
Hey.
Breezango, the Uggos, the New Day, and then whoever is showing up to face the Breezango at Battleground.
I hate to say it because I hate the Uggos. I think they're super boring, but they're doing a really quality job right now at being tag team champs. I don't want to say they're good, but they're giving it their all, and they're making it pretty meaningful right now. And
I can feel that it's physically hurting you to say that.
Yeah. So after that, I mean, Josie, do you want to give your pick on this?
Oh, Chris, that made me
I got-
sad to say.
I got nothing, but Jacket Dude, welcome to the stream. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, so final match, we have Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton in the Punjabi prison match for the WWE title. Randy has to win it here, right? I don't want him to, but he has to,
No,
right?
I don't think he is. I think
Randy's
this
a bigger
is-
draw at SummerSlam. That's the only reason I could see that happening.
I hope he doesn't win.
I
really hope.
the one excuse to do this match one more time is to put the belt onto Randy Orton. I know. I'm saying horrible things right now, but it's the only way you can get another Jinder Mahal Randy Orton match, and that's what they want at SummerSlam.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty gross.
Very gross. Why? This feud should have been done and over with already, like 3 matches ago.
Well, the main event of SummerSlam is going to be for the Universal Championship. Raw's getting the main event of SummerSlam this year.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And
Did somebody else die?
Did he
Are
die?
you guys ready for the realist prediction of the night?
Oh,
what's
Jesus.
that?
The Singh brothers are under the first cage
What?
and will be involved in this finish. I do not think they're taking that belt off Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, I mean they could, but
I'm hoping this match is better than the last couple Punjabi prison matches. I mean, your last 2 have been held with people that aren't the most mobile and aren't the quickest workers. And who knows? We've not seen 2 people in a Punjabi prison match that are a reasonable sized human being.
I mean, Randy Orton's obscenely tall.
He is.
But it's not like in the past where we've had. Let me look it up as to who's in that. The last 2.
Batista, the Great Khali,
The
so
Undertaker.
yeah,
Big Show.
yeah. Batista
and-
was the smallest person in any of these matches.
So we've not had 2 smaller sized people that might be able to work a little bit quicker and maybe bring the most out of a really complicated match.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think after this, it should just be the death of the Punjabi prison match.
Well, it depends. If this is really good, then
They'll bring it back.
They'll be bringing it in for other non-Indian talents.
Yeah,
I mean, if this match is as big of a turd as I'm sure we all think it's going to be, I mean, it's not.
Oh God.
it's not what Josh.
Nothing
It's
is
not
House
what-
of Horrors bad.
Yeah,
You mean
Yeah.
the one and only time they're ever doing that match in the history of ever?
Man, but like Punjabi prison is.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's
Well-
just bad.
Well, we'll see. It could actually be a pretty decent match. I doubt it will be big.
Are you guys
Crazy
ready to put your?
Matches like that don't tend to be good. Josh, what are we gonna get ready for?
Are you ready to put your tinfoil hats on?
Oh,
All
boy.
right, put our tinfoil hats on.
Get him.
So it's the reason they made Jinder Mahal the world champion wasn't to sell T-shirts in India like we all believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
He was going too deep into the rabbit hole. He got caught.
So I got a message from my friend Nick. Apparently, he's been watching, and he wanted to chime in his predictions, if that's okay.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So let's see. He's got Jinder Mahal going over on Orton.
Sorry.
my back.
Styles
Yes.
versus Owens. He's got Styles.
Okay.
He's got Cena beating Rusev.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh God, he's got Lana taking the women's 5-way.
Well, that's just untrue.
And he thinks it's going to be the Ascension for the mystery tag against Breezango. But
guess.
Breezango's going to take the win.
That's the thing, though. The Ascension. I see where it's coming from, but the Ascension was already ruled out at the last pay-per-view.
This is
Plus, I
true.
think they're too busy with an Eddie Money concert.
That's
Yeah,
true.
did they ever come back from that? Let's see. He's got New Day beating the Usos,
That's optimistic.
and he's got Dillinger beating English.
Yeah, I think we all can agree with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys know the real reason Jinder is the champ, right?
Okay, so
What's that?
you did cut out right
You
before.
Cut out before you could
It's-
say.
I
Yes.
know. It's not to sell T-shirts in India like we all thought it was. It's to bring back the Punjabi prison match and see if it's viable.
Oh God.
Spoiler alert: it's not.
Have you
It's
looked
a
in?
terrible match idea.
I mean, it's
So
still
bad.
better than the Dixieland match.
It's not as bad
If
as
you're,
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go on.
I mean, it's if you're gonna bring back a gimmicky cage match, bring back War Games. People like that.
Did I ever tell you
I
guys?
don't think people actually like war games. I think everyone just says they like war games.
Did I
Matthew Broderick was amazing in that movie.
ever tell you guys one of my ideas for a concept, like a secondary concept for the Elimination Chamber? Because that's how you make gimmick matches. By the way, you make gimmick matches by taking a concept that's already there and putting a spin on it. Have I told you guys my idea?
No,
No.
you haven't.
Okay, so it's a 6-man tag. I know, multi-man match. I know, 2 factions. I know. Let's get it all out of the way now. Just berate me, boo me.
Boo!
Ooh,
Someone
Boo
boo this one.
Burns.
So we start the match with number 1 and number 2.
Zach, did you giggle at that?
I did.
You start the number match number 1. You start the match number 1 and number 2 are on opposing teams, and the only way to get help is by basically physically releasing your teammates from the pods. So there's no like time limit and no like random release. You actually have to release your teammates from the pods. And the only
So
way
it
to
could become
win-
a handicap match. That's a solid match. I like
know,
that.
right? That sounds
Yeah, that
really
could be
good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Book it, Vince.
What if, hear me out, it's inside 2 bamboo steel reinforced cages?
That's just not okay with me.
Now hold on here. Hold on. Now hear me out on this one.
Okay.
What if you took those 2 steel reinforced bamboo cages and put them on top 2 more steel reinforced bamboo cages?
I have to escape 4 cages?
Hold up. Does David Arquette show up?
At least twice.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
You
going to show up
sold
on a
me.
motorcycle.
If David Arquette's there, I'm sold. Greatest world champion of all time.
By far the best. No one will ever top him.
He's the best around, and nobody's ever going to get him down.
I think on that note, I think that's the end of the Average Guys Pro Wrestling Podcast, episode 12.
No, I had one more question for everybody. I
Nope.
just want to know what everyone like. I think this is one thing that we should do, and we should end with on the show of just other than WWE. What has everyone been enjoying in wrestling this week, if anything? We'll go ahead and start with Josie, if anything.
Yeah.
You know what? I finally made it through Glow, and it is wrestling related. So I saw Glow on Netflix, and I think I binge watched the whole thing over 2 days. It's a pretty solid show. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for season 2.
Fight me. I watched the whole thing over one day. Guys,
Yeah, Chris, I'm gonna have you go last because I'm pretty sure I know what yours is.
No,
Josh,
actually.
you want to go next?
I have enjoyed the mad shit talkery that has come out of Gregory Helms this week. Man, what? Did you guys not pay him? I know TNA has a problem with paying their people on time, but what the hell did you do for Shane fucking Helms to come out and shit talk you as bad as he has?
Yeah. So this is
Buried.
So this is my favorite thing that is just only tangentially related to wrestling, but also got Aleister Black to acknowledge me on Twitter. So if you don't know, and you should know because his cat is adorable, Aleister Black recently got a new cat.
Dogs are better.
It's a white Persian kitten, and it is just like the most adorable, ugly cat I've ever seen. I have harassed Holly by showing her pictures of that cat every chance I get. Every time I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see the cat, I'm like, look at this picture, look at this picture. To the point where Holly was just like, would you, like, you've shown me this cat. And, like, she's like, your cat is right there. So then I take my phone, just show my cat the cat, and then make a comment to Aleister Black about how Holly essentially told me to stop showing her the cat. And Aleister Black replied to my tweet. So I was pretty happy about that because,
Very
as
nice.
you know, he is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Zach, I know something you'd appreciate, which is he has outright said that he wants to stay in NXT.
I love him.
No.
He is the
He's
greatest.
correct. He wants to spend more time honing his craft down there and showing what he's worth in NXT. And frankly, it's better than Aleister Black, cruiserweight participant.
He wasn't a cruiserweight participant. He was at the UK.
The dirt sheet is that they want him on the cruiserweights.
I
God.
will fight for him not to be.
Yes.
I mean, they're wrong. They're completely wrong on this.
Wow,
I will fight Vince McMahon for that.
I don't know
That is
if
a
I'd go-
physical fight with him.
That's the only choice that's stupider.
And I will
The
get
House
beat
of
up by a
Horrors match.
70-year-old man, but I will fight him for that.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I would definitely fight Linda McMahon over this.
I mean, Vince McMahon's pretty yoked.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I'm saying.
why.
I will get my ass kicked by a 70-year-old man, but I will fight him for this.
He's completely wrong on that, and I'm glad that Aleister Black, the competitor, has enough, I guess, tater tots to like be like, no, I want to stay in NXT, and this is. I mean, it's the better show. It's the best show WWE's had going for the last 5 years now.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, if they do send him up to the main roster, send him over to SmackDown and send Finn over there too.
SmackDown's so light right now. That roster's so small.
It is, and I think Finn and Aleister Black would be wonderful additions. Let's make this happen.
All right, Chris, you want to close us out by telling us your favorite thing outside of WWE and wrestling this week?
Outside of Jinder Mahal's title reign, right?
It's outside of WWE, you asshole.
Jinder Mahal's title reign.
So, as a lot of you who follow our page know, Jose and I went to Colorado Springs this weekend to attend a CSW show. CSW
Why
stars
would you
and
go there?
what?
Why would you
It's
go
not
there?
Pueblo. It's not Pueblo, so it's fine.
That's true.
CSW, Colorado Springs Wrestling Stars and Bars. We went there to hang out and meet with somebody that will hopefully be on our show and will hopefully talk to us. But that person is not my highlight from this week. I know Zach is surprised about this. My highlight from
We
this
saved
week.
enough for plugs.
My highlight from this week was the outright stellar performance given to us by Curtis Cole and Anaya before the halftime point of the show. Like right after this match, the lights went up. We all went upstairs. We had food. We had, like, a whole bunch of people went out for a smoke break. But the thing is, like, we were watching this match, and this match actually had everybody on their feet in a show where otherwise everyone was kind of snoozing. You know what I mean? Like, it was actually entertaining. It was fun to watch. It was like there were a couple of spots where outside the ring, Anaya sat Curtis Cole on a fan and was just beating the tar out of him. There was just a whole... Or was it Curtis Cole who set Anaya on somebody? I don't actually remember. I couldn't see very well.
They did it to each other, actually.
Okay, cool. But, like, all of that, it was all beautiful. And the finish to the match was just... I can't describe it. It was actually insane.
Yeah.
Curtis Cole comes off the top rope to try to do... I don't remember what it is, but Anaya catches him and does... do you guys know the... what is it? It's Brian Cage's finisher, the X Factor, or Weapon X?
Mm-hmm.
he does a modified version of that where instead of the head being on his shoulders, the head is underneath his armpit. And instead of landing on the ground, he basically just drives their head into his knee. And it was it was
pretty good.
beautiful. And Anaya gets the pinfall 1, 2, 3, and the whole building just erupts because that match was so good and the ending was so beautiful and all of it was just a total package. And I know Curtis Cole. I am friends with him on Facebook, and I already sung his praises this week. But I'm gonna go ahead and sing it again. Curtis Cole, if you're listening to this, you're amazing. You are fucking great at this. Don't ever stop.
So yeah, that's been the Average Guys Pro Wrestling Podcast, episode number 12, also known as our season 1 finale. Season 2 starts next week.
Whoa! This is Flounder season. Season 1 starts next week.
All right, this was our pilot. Yeah, so get ready for more well organized. Average Guys Pro Wrestling Podcast coming to you soon.
I mean, is there still going to be
we have
shenaniganry each week?
Can we?
I mean, as long as you continue to drink 3 beers in the span of a 2-hour podcast.
Thank you muchly.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh man, you guys are great, and you guys for watching us, you're great too. I think this was a pretty successful 3rd time live because we tried this a couple times before. But thank you for listening, and please go ahead.
We do
Josh.
love the people.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
and please let us know your Battleground predictions as well.
Oh yeah, do that. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you guys.